Hej allihopa och välkomna! Welcome to this Coffee Break Swedish event. This is a special event because today is Black Friday. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you've picked up one or two emails from, many companies, be it us or other places. And we are also joining the Black Friday fun because we are offering 40% off our course today on Coffee Break Swedish. Now, I would like to to tell you about Coffee Break Swedish today. Sorry, there are some messages coming in here and a little bit distracted. I would like to tell you about the Coffee Break Swedish course today. And if you are already a member of Coffee Break Swedish, if you've already purchased our course, then in this video, I'm going to be focusing on that course for people who haven't yet purchased that. So if you're here to find out more about what we're offering with Coffee Break Swedish at a later date, then we're not going to be covering that in this session. What we are going to be doing is focusing on the premium version of Coffee Break Swedish and what that course entails. So let me check that everything is working. First of all, I have a question for you, and that is vad heter du och var är du? So what's your name and where do you come from? Where are you listening from? Joshua said, I'd like to sell to you. Yeah, well, ultimately, we would like to sell you our course. That's ultimately what Black Friday is all about. So maybe it was Freudian, but this, I should say, is actually the fifth webinar that I've done today. We are now on number 5 Swedish because we did a Coffee Break French webinar at 1 o'clock, German at 2 o'clock, Italian at 3 o'clock, Spanish at 4 o'clock, and Swedish now. And we're broadcasting on our Coffee Break Swedish Facebook page, but also on our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is for all languages, so that's why I'm explaining that if you're learning one of these languages, then perhaps you want to check out our other videos, which are all on our YouTube page. Our channel. So anyway, as I said, today we are going to be looking at the Coffee Break Swedish Premium course. I'll be taking you behind the scenes in the Coffee Break Academy to show you exactly what that entails. But do let me know if you are watching, where you're watching from. Joshua is watching from Argentina. Muy bien. Jättebra. Joshua, you're saying, I used to love Swedish, but my love for it died. Any tips to carry on? Yeah, I would definitely say find some good shows to watch that will immerse you in Swedish again. And that is certainly what I would find if my love for Swedish had died. My love for Swedish hasn't died; it's very much alive. But I think if you find some good films or some shows, or if you're celebrating the holiday season at this time of year, some festive music. Sweden and all of Scandinavia have some amazing festive music. So it's always nice to listen to some Swedish Christmas carols or festive music at this time of year. So definitely do that, and I think that will certainly bring back your love for Swedish. Vi har också Daphne. Jag heter Daphne och jag är från Grekland. Jättebra, jättebra. Christopoli, Daphne. Thank you for joining us. Dancing Pineapple says, did you announce some time ago that another language would be added, or did I dream this? I can't tell you anything about other languages at the moment. However, and Dancing Pineapple is from France in Bordeaux. However, if you tune in on the 5th of December, we'll be telling you all about our new plans for Coffee Break languages in general, and that will give you the chance to find out exactly what's happening with Coffee Break, and I would suggest that you do so if you're interested in finding out about that. Duff Manoye is joining us from Michigan, US. Good to see you. And Angela is joining us from sunny Troon, a tricky language. I watch films, always good for the ear. Tack varsågod, Angela. Good to have you here. And Daphne's asking, will you be producing a second level course anytime soon? Well, again, all I'll say is tune in on the 5th of December to find out the latest plans for all of our languages, Daphne. Dancing Pineapple. So why learn Swedish only spoken in Scandinavia and Swedes speak English? Sorry, but like Joshua Rodriguez, I'm also trying to motivate myself. So this is the thing. I've always found, yes, I know obviously in Sweden, so many people speak amazing English, but I've always found when I try my best to use my Swedish in Sweden, or just to Swedish friends or colleagues, then they are so delighted at my attempts to speak in Swedish. It makes it such a different experience because I'm trying to speak in a language that they know I really don't need to speak. So I think that's all the more reason why we should learn other languages. And the other thing about Swedish is it's a great practice for your tongue, as Angela said. It's a great way to practice your pronunciation and get used to using different sounds because there are some fantastic sounds in Swedish like huttihu, sjömän and all that, but we won't go into that just now. Anyway, what we're here today to talk about is our course. So we are talking about Coffee Break Swedish Season 1. And Coffee Break Swedish Season 1 is made up of 40 lessons taking you from the absolute beginnings of Swedish up to a more advanced level. And it basically will take you from an A1 level, pushing into A2 and into certain aspects of B1 on the European framework of reference with our lessons from lesson 1 all the way to lesson 40. Now, one of the ways in which we can see this is basically the transformation that happens between lesson 1 and lesson 40. In lesson 1, we're at the absolute basics of Swedish, beginning to understand how the language works. We're looking at the transactional language that you would use if you're traveling in Sweden or Swedish-speaking Finland. And basically all of that transactional language, you're learning phrases, you're learning words, you're learning vocabulary, but you're never just learning these in isolation. From the very beginning of Coffee Break Swedish, we're learning how the whole program, how the whole language works, and how you can recreate the language yourself and manipulate the language in order to say what you want to say. And the idea is through my questions to Hannah, our teacher, we will basically be helping you build your Swedish knowledge. So what I thought I'd do today is take you, as I said, behind the scenes of Coffee Break Swedish, take you into the Coffee Break Academy, and we'll have a look at what our premium version of Coffee Break Swedish involves. So the early lessons, as I said, you were starting at the very beginning. So for every lesson, we have a video, audio lessons, lesson notes, and bonus audio. So you can see with the lesson notes, everything is explained in detail. So even in the very early stages, it's in a sense a written version of the audio lesson that you may already have listened to as a podcast. But of course, first of all, there's no ads in this version. And secondly, we provide a video version too that you can listen to. So in lesson 1 here, we're focusing on some basic expressions, basic greetings and so on, with some alternative answers to hur mår du, and all the explanations there. And then throughout all of our lessons, we have our Kulturhörnan, and that is the cultural corner where we are learning about aspects of Swedish culture, again from Sweden and Swedish-speaking parts of Finland. The cultural stuff also happens at the end of certain segments of the course. But our lesson notes provide everything that you need to know about each lesson. And then you've also got the bonus audio that you can work through. Now, as we go through the course, let me just come back here. As we go through the course, I'll just make that a little bigger so that we can see it better. There we go. We cover different topics, so saying how you're feeling, greetings, saying where you're from, where you live, introducing people, counting, asking where things are, places in the town and so on. All of these topics, oops, my cursor's disappeared, and then we work towards an end of unit review. So each unit is each 10 lessons, and then there's an end of unit review at the end of each of these 10 lessons. We then move on to more transactional content. You're looking at ordering drinks, ordering lunch, eating, arriving at the hotel, and all this kind of idea. Shopping, getting around the town, train travel, and again here at the end of Unit 20, we've got a dialogue. And let's have a listen to that dialogue just now. And I'll do this with the video because this way we'll see the words on the screen. So let's see if we can skip forward to
Coffee Break Swedish
the dialogue.
Kan jag hjälpa dig?
Tack. Jag har bokat ett enkelrum för 3 nätter.
Hur var namnet?
Maria Larsson.
Här är din nyckel. Rum nummer 558 på våning.
Oops. Sorry about that.
Hissen är där. Frukost ingår.
När serveras frukosten?
På vardagar mellan 6:30 och 9. Och på helger mellan 8 och 10.
Tack. När måste jag checka ut?
Klockan 11 på avresedagen.
Jag är jättehungrig. Serverar ni middag på restaurangen?
Ja, det gör vi. Restaurangen öppnar klockan 6:30.
Hur mycket är...
So I'll stop it there, but you get the idea that this is after 20 lessons, and already we're looking at more vocabulary, we're looking at real conversations for checking into a hotel in this case. So at the end of lesson 20, we have a mini-series, our Kulturhörnan, and this one happened to be around Christmas time, which of course is such an important time of year in Scandinavia. And we were talking about the adventsljus-taken, and that is the Advent candle holder, as it were. So again, more information, more cultural information. And I think cultural information is so important when you're learning a language because it gives you the chance to understand where speakers of the language come from, understand their culture, understand the way in which the language is used and the experience that they have grown up with. And by learning that, you're able to use that in your own speech and your own communication with them. So we had Lucia and Christmas Eve, the Nobel Prize and Sami culture, again, a very, very important part of Swedish culture. And an interview with a Sami expert in that particular lesson. So we then continued on, looking at other topics, weather, aches and pains, dealing with problems, descriptions and things, and looking at the ways in which the language is used, and working up towards our identity quiz in lesson 30, where we were identifying different people from the descriptions. So again, looking at the lesson notes, describing Father Christmas and so on. But if we look here at some of the other people, here is another person that we've described, and we can continue on looking at other famous people. And there is another description, this time from Hannah, and she is speaking about a very famous character, Pippi Longstrump. So as you can see, the amount of Swedish that we're working through is much more developed at this stage in the course. There's another Kulturhörnan mini-series all about Midsummer, Pippi Longstrump, Allsång på Sverige. I was actually at Allsång for the first time this summer. It was fantastic. Allsång to the sitting in Skansen in the summer's evening, which was fantastic. So Allsång på Skansen is explained in Kulturhörnan number 8. And then by the time we get to Kulturhörnan number 10, this is kind of important because as we get to this, you'll see that the whole text is actually in Swedish. So we are now at the stage of being able to use Swedish in a much more developed way, because the entire text for our Kulturhörnan is all written in Swedish. So, as we're continuing on, lessons 31 to 40 follow my trip to Sweden, and we will be able to continue and work through this trip to Sweden through conversations and so on. So birthday celebrations here, lesson 39. We'll jump to the conversation again if we can. You just said, oh.
Yes.
So let me see if I can jump to the conversation here.
Ja, det är ni som kommer från Skottland. Vi kan prata engelska om ni vill.
Nej, tack ändå. Vi är här för att träna på vår svenska.
Åh, coolt! Var i Skottland kommer ni ifrån?
Vi bor ganska nära Glasgow. Har ni varit där?
So the idea of this whole series with going from lesson 31 to 40, this is showing where we've reached. And in my case, as the learner in Coffee Break Swedish, at the beginning I did not speak a lot at all, but now we're able to take this further and really use Swedish in a more effective way. So the reason I'm trying to show you all of this from going from lesson 1 with the very basic materials up to this level of being able to communicate in Swedish is really to show how much goes into lessons 1 to 40 of Coffee Break Swedish Season 1 and the value of all of this in the course. Now, the course itself normally is £108, including VAT. So that is including VAT in the UK. And obviously, if you're purchasing elsewhere in Europe, the local rate of VAT would be charged. But that at the moment is down by 40%, so £64.80. You are basically you're able to take 40%. Sorry, I'm distracted by the spam comments here on YouTube. So if the team can make sure you remove them and get that removed as quickly as possible, please. Thank you. So the 40% off our course at the moment, as I say, £108 down to $64.80, and that in US dollars would be $124 down to $74.40. So a really good chance to save 40% at the moment by using our special coupon code, and that coupon code is BF22. So if you use BF22, then you will be able to get 40% off the course. Now, to use that coupon code, what you need to do is go to the Coffee Break Academy. I'll show you how to get there in just a second. But when you go through to the purchase, you'll see the order summary, and there's a little button that says click here to add coupon. If you click on that, you'll be able to put in the link BF22, then click apply, and then you'll get the 40% taken off. And you can see there, it's all split up, so you see that this is the amount that you are billed today, £64.80. So that is how you use the code. Now, we've had a couple of questions while we've been talking through things. Dancing Pineapple saying, I didn't expect so much engagement on the Swedish video. I'm positively surprised, means there'll be more and more seasons of Coffee Break Swedish. Haha. Another question that came up was what will be covered in the new season and when is it arriving. So I've not said that there's a new season of Coffee Break Swedish coming, just to be absolutely clear. I said that on the 5th of December we'll be talking about all our languages and updating you on everything that is coming in all of our languages. So hopefully that is clear. Daphne is saying, really enjoying the excellent course, by the way. Thank you very much indeed. Josh was asking, why did you decide to run Swedish and not Norwegian? At the time, we were just looking at the number of learners learning particular languages, and we decided that Swedish would be a good language to do. And I am also quite passionate about all things Scandinavian, so who knows, we might do a Coffee Break Norwegian sometime in the future. Axel is asking, are there languages you speak that are not covered by Coffee Break, Mark? At the moment, all of my languages are covered in some way by Coffee Break, so hope that answers your question. Duffman, oh yeah, is asking, once we purchase the course, do we have access for life, or is it for a defined period of time? Absolutely. So you can first of all download all the materials to your own device, all the PDFs, the videos, the MP3s. You can download them and store them on your own device for however long you need, obviously for personal use. But you also have access within the Coffee Break Academy to use all of this content too, so you'll be able to access it there too. So hopefully that answers your question. Axel is asking, why did you decide to study Swedish, Mark? I think I've always been fascinated by Scandinavian things, probably influenced heavily by a lot of ABBA being played in my house when I was growing up. And I've always loved Swedish music and Swedish culture and Norwegian culture, Danish culture. Basically, Scandinavian culture has always interested me. So that's why I think that I decided to study it. Joshua, you need another season, been waiting for so long. Well, as I say, tune in on the 5th of December and you'll find out what the plans are for our next Coffee Break developments. If you do have any more questions about Coffee Break Swedish, about our using the Black Friday sale The coupon code, as I said, is BF22. You'll be able to use that. And this sale ends on Monday, the 28th of November. So that's on Monday coming. You will be able to take advantage of the course, take advantage of the sale to buy the course for 40% off. But the code does run out on Monday. And just also to mention, we have had some questions about whether will there be more discount by the time it gets to Monday, and absolutely not. We don't want someone buying the course today and then finding out that they could have bought it for cheaper on Monday. That's not going to happen. The 40% will be the same coupon today, tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. There is no change to that. So you need to use BF22 at the checkout. And you can do so at, that's the website where all the information is, coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF22. And if you want to find out more about our courses, you can find them at the Coffee Break Academy. We have courses in Spanish, French, Italian, German, English, Chinese, and Swedish at the moment. Axel is asking, will you be watching Melodifestivalen? Would love to hear you and Hannah speak about it. Well, I'm sure that will come up in future episodes of Coffee Break Swedish. Hannah's going to be down on Tuesday to do some recording. So you will be able to, I guess you'll be able to listen to whatever we're recording sometime soon. Will we be able to watch the December 5th programme on YouTube if we miss seeing it live? Yes, Peter. The December the 5th programme will be available as a replay afterwards. What I should say is that if you're not already subscribed to our newsletter, then make sure you subscribe to Dancing Pineapple. Seems quite excited. If you go to coffeebreaklanguages.com/newsletter, then there you can find, we send out regular language learning tips on Mondays, and there is also Swedish content that goes out regularly too. So make sure you subscribe to our newsletter and tick whichever languages you like on that. I'm going to leave it there. I have been talking solidly for about 5 hours for all of these Black Friday webinars, and I think I need to have some water and a bit of a break now. Thank you very much for joining me live. If you're watching the replay, I hope it's been useful too, and we'll do our best to answer any questions in the chat on the replay. But for now, tack så jättemycket och hej då!